The decision to help your child have a job is one of the most important decisions, and it's one of the greatest decisions in your child's life. Obviously, chores at home are the time to begin the whole idea of having a job. The responsibility that a child learns through a job is immeasurable. If I'm supposed to be doing the bathroom sink for my chore, for my job, if I'm supposed to be emptying the trash or whatever, and I get $1 a week or $1 a month or whatever's appropriate for allowance, I'm teaching my child immeasurably. But then as my child becomes a junior high student or high school student, remember this: busy kids are happy kids. Whether my child is doing a job or whether my child is doing a sport at school, I want my child for sure to have something in their life besides school to occupy a good share of their time. I'll never forget my daughter's first job. She was all excited about it. And I said, well, if you're going to take this job, you're going to for sure work a minimum of 40 hours a week. Now, sometimes I sound like a mean dad, but it's just really important to teach responsibilities. And I found out later in the summer that she was working some weeks 30 hours a week. So I said, get a second job. And I'll never forget walking to the Baskin-Robbins ice cream store at midnight and watching her dip ice cream and saying, you know what? When I said it's got to be a 40-hour job, I meant it had to be a 40-hour job. I remember from my dad learning that when I had a job, I knew what it meant to have a responsible attitude towards spending money. When a child has a job, a child can participate in buying the first cell phone. A child can participate in buying the first iPod. The child can participate for sure in buying the first car. And I'm going to take care of that car. I'm going to wash that car. I'm going to wax that car. I'm going to take care of that car. In fact, I remember when my daughter was driving her first car and she wouldn't keep the car clean, I remember taking the car out and parking it away from her in a place that she couldn't find it for a while. Teaching kids responsibility is so important. Another thing that a job does for a child is when a child is in trouble. I think a job is good discipline. When a child does something that's way out of line or something that's caused destruction in any way, I think you need to find a price tag on that and increase the job load to help pay for the destruction or the damage or whatever the child did. You can't measure how important it is for a child to have a job. One of the most important things I can do for my child is that when they leave home for college or for their first job, that they can stand on their own 2 feet. In fact, one of the promises that you as a parent need to make your child is that when they leave home for high school, that you will give them ability, if something happens to you as a dad and or to their mom, that you will have trained them well enough that you promise them they'll be able to stand on their own 2 feet. So then they can see the fact that they need to work some in their life is that you're really giving them freedom. And when a child sees it like that, it's not so bad to have a job. Having a job in the summertime or afternoon, after school or in the evenings is probably the most important gifts that you can give your child. Go for it. They need it.